Today I wanted to talk to you about something rather personal. I have one younger sister, and both of us grew up with the same parents, in the same house, in the same conditions. And throughout the years, I've noticed my sister and my parents' relationship really became tenuous. And the point of conflict was a whole bunch of things that my sister said my parents were doing. And it really affected how she grew up. And my parents would often check in with me and say, this is what's going on. Do you remember this? Or this is what's happened. Do you remember this happening, etc. Right? So I didn't understand a word of what was going on, or my sister's interpretation of what she had said or what she had heard or what went on. I mean, I was in my own little world, and I thought that world was the one that she was seeing. Now, it really wasn't until recently that I heard something from Dr. Gabor Mate, and Dr. Gabor Mate has said that two siblings, although living in the same house with the same parents, do not experience the same childhood. They don't experience the same parents. They don't experience the same growing up, if you will, of each other. And he details it very nicely. And it really wasn't until that came along that I'm like, oh, okay, this is really interesting. And what it boils down to is a couple of things. Dr. Mate actually says that one, the child is different, right? Every child is different inherently, and there are needs and there are biases that the child inherently has. Number two, the gender of the child, obviously that changes things, that changes the dynamic. But thirdly, it's the parents. It's the parents themselves that may not be the same parent that they were with the first child versus the second child. They will be going through their own relationship issues. They will be going through their own financial struggles, right, as we all do. There's a whole bunch of things going on in their world. So how their world or where they're at in their world intersects with the child at that point of growth, right? And then that child takes away something very different, and it's almost like the parent is giving something very different to the child, or each child along the way. So in essence, what Dr. Mate was saying, that in fact no two siblings have the same upbringing, the same parents, and the same childhood. And then it clicked, and it's like, all right, I guess that is what we're looking at here, especially from my understanding of this within my family, to see why there's such conflict and why the interpretation or the understanding or the differences in opinions that me and my sister have on certain things that have happened, right? The obvious sibling issue is you were favored, or I was not favored, or you were given this, or I was not given that opportunity. I mean, it cascades into a bunch of things, and that really ties in perfectly with what Dr. Mate was explaining. And I know it's taken me a long time to understand it, but I think I finally get it. Now, what you do with this is another thing, but I think identifying it is the big one for me. Anyway, so do you think Dr. Mate is right? Do you think that, that is an explanation of what goes on in families and society? And, if each family has this, then, or may have something similar to this, then what's the solution, right? So everyone's got a different interpretation or a different understanding of what's going on. And then we go through life with these interpretations, and we interact with society like this. Anyways, it's an interesting observation I find, and I think it's almost like witnessing a car accident. If anyone's ever talked to witnesses after a car accident, you'll have so many different perspectives on the same singular event, right? And I think it's almost like that. Sometimes in life, you try and look at things that are out there, and you try and make sense of them, and you try to make sense of things based on what you know, or your awareness of what's going on, right? So, I mean, that's the best we can do.